What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Clown Questions, the show where there are no dumb questions. I'm your host, Matt K. Maurer, and here's a question that was probably already asked on ESPN. Is the Chiefs dynasty over? I'll attempt to answer that question in addition to some other questions. Today we got a first interruption with Todd Bowles, top 10 Goosebump moments of the week, and TNF pick as always. So, fun little show. Who's down to clown?
That's a clown question, bro.
So is the Chiefs dynasty over? It appears that way, low-key. The Chiefs record last week was 6, and I don't even want to say the next number to that. And now their record is 6-8 after losing to the Los Angeles Chargers. That eliminated them from the playoffs. But even more important than them getting eliminated from the playoffs was they unfortunately lost their star, their Hall of Fame quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, late in the game to an ACL tear. They probably would have lost the game anyways, although I guess Gardner Minshew was driving at the end to try and tie it up, get a field goal, maybe a touchdown to go ahead. But yeah, the question has to be asked after getting to what? 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls, some stupid stat. Obviously, they won back-to-back, and then they were in their third straight last year where they lost to the Eagles. But yeah, it begs the question, is the Chiefs dynasty over? After being in the Super Bowl last year, they have now been eliminated from the playoffs. And yeah, to pour salt in the wound, Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL. He already had surgery a day or two ago. So yeah, praying for Pat Mahomes. Hope he has a quick recovery. Who knows if he'll be back for week 1? That seems unlikely. But he will undoubtedly be back for the Chiefs. But I have to say, the dynasty is over. Yes, the Chiefs dynasty is over, but with a little caveat. Part 1 is over. Part 1 of the Chiefs dynasty is over. I'm not counting out Patrick Mahomes. He had he had decent stats, but arguably the worst year of his entire career. And yeah, I don't expect it to continue like that. Obviously he was, kind of zeroed in on guys like Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce this year as far as throwing the ball. I do think the Chiefs will go and add some more weapons. I think Xavier Worthy didn't have a great year, not having a great year, but yeah, I think eventually the Chiefs are going to retool, and obviously Travis Kelce's getting up there in years, maybe contemplating retirement now. I'm sure he wants to play another season with Mahomes, so maybe he comes back. But obviously Kelce isn't going to play for another potentially 10 years like Mahomes. So I do think the dynasty is over now, but that's just part 1. I think it will resume, especially once they find kind of a security blanket to replace Kelce with. Rashee Rice is sort of evolving into that, but you're definitely going to need another weapon for Mahomes at some point. And yeah, again, I think it's over, but it kind of just reminds me of Tom Brady and the Patriots, where they won, 2 out of 3. They won 3 Super Bowls early in Tom's career, had a bit of a drought. They lost one in 2007, and then Brady went and won 3 more with James White. Shout out James White. I learned yesterday he has 3 Super Bowl rings. I knew he had 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, robbed of Super Bowl MVP. But yeah, I think it'll be similar to that Patriots dynasty. And that's another question I have. Was the Tom Brady led Patriots, is that 2 separate dynasties, or do you consider it as one 20-year dynasty? I could see it going either way, because it's like the 2000s Patriots dynasty and the 2010s Patriots dynasty, although I guess one of them might have been in 2021 or so. Or no, that was 2019, his final ring with the Patriots against the Rams. So yeah, 2000s and 2010s. Maybe we'll get a 2030. Maybe it'll be a little 5-year hiatus for the Chiefs, and then we'll get the 2030 dynasty from the Chiefs, and kind of that 2020s part 1 of the dynasty. But yeah, unfortunate for the Chiefs, unfortunate for Mahomes. Like I said, hoping he heals up fast. But yeah, again, I think their defense played great this year, and their offense was just kind of underwhelming. Tell me this, am I crazy for thinking drafting Cam Skattebo changes their season? I mean, dude, you get a hard-nosed runner, guy who can, catch passes, run block, physicality, as Cam Skattebo likes to scream. I don't know. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic with, how Cam Skattebo looked great and, whatever, only 5 games he played this year. But yeah, I do think a certain weapon like that, especially at the running back position where, you've had Kareem Hunt, who's getting up there, and Pacheco, who's been a little underwhelming and frankly hurt. But yeah, I don't know. I think the dynasty is on pause for now, and part 2 will pick up when Mahomes is healthy and when they kind of retool that team a bit. Speaking of a team that might need to retool immediately because they are not eliminated and they're actually a win and a loss, depending on the Lions and Packers, from clinching a playoff spot. And I hate asking this question, but I will ask it. Is the season over? Is the season over? That was the overwhelming conclusion I saw on Packers Twitter after we play the Denver Broncos. And of course, people weren't saying that because we lost to the Denver Broncos. Broncos are a great team. We look great for 3/4 of that game. But we're asking it because our star player, best player on our team, frankly, maybe the best player in the NFC. I don't know. They'll give the MVP to Stafford. Excuse my little hiccup there. But yeah, our star, our future Hall of Famer as well, Micah Parsons, tears his ACL. Really unfortunate for Micah and the Packers. Yeah, there's really not much to say. This is kind of the reason why I was thinking I'd maybe have the King on this week, but we talked a little bit before and during the Packers game, and then it was just radio silence after the Packers after the Parsons injury. And yeah, I think we kind of need a week to reassess. We'll see how we look against the Bears. I think we're still favored at Soldier Field against the Bears, which is weird to me because, the pass rush is certainly going to suffer. But yeah, unfortunately, Micah was not the only injury. Evan Williams apparently was injured on the same exact play. Now, his is not nearly as severe. It was a sprained MCL, but on the same exact play, he didn't even realize Micah was injured on the play until he saw only one trainer coming over to him, and then he saw like a dozen people going over to Micah. Come on, let's get some more trainers over to Evan Williams. He's a star, future All-Pro in this league as well. But yeah, luckily the Evan Williams injury isn't quite as bad. I think Matt LaFleur was quoted as saying all of the non-Parsons injured players do have a chance to suit up this Saturday against the Chicago Bears. So that's some good news. Marshawn Lloyd, on the other hand, sounds like he's probably out for the year. I want to see Marshawn play at some point. So heal up Marshawn. Christian Watson, another Packer, got banged up in that game with a chest injury. O-lineman Zach Tom. Josh Jacobs apparently got re-injured and played through the injury. So, yeah, it's going to be tough sledding against the Bears. But maybe I should point out that the Dolphins, who just lost to the Steelers on Monday Night Football, waived a defensive edge, an edge rusher in Matthew Judon. Packers, maybe click on the waiver priority. I don't know if it's similar to fantasy football. Maybe it truly is just a green add button in your NFL account. But yeah, why not? Let's get Matthew Judon, a veteran, again, maybe past his prime, but how sick would Matthew Judon look in yellow sleeves and the green jersey? Obviously Jair Alexander already had that look, but I think Judon would pull it off well. And in the icy whites, would he wear green sleeves? I don't know. They might make you wear all white for the iced out unis, but yeah, maybe we can go after him. I'm hoping guys like Lucas Van Ness and Baron Sorrell can step up here. But yeah, our D-line has had some big losses. Started off with Kenny Clark. Obviously, we traded for Parsons. Then Devontae Wyatt. Now, obviously, Micah. So I won't say what the other Packers are saying. The season isn't over. Would I be lying if I said I still believe that we have that I still believe we're Super Bowl contenders. Yes, I don't think we're contenders in the same way I did, but I still think we can go on a run, win some playoff games. Jordan Love is on fire. Obviously, it's Toyotathon. Maybe that's why. But yeah, only other thing I have on the Packers is something I saw today made me want to throw up. J.J. Watt reportedly wanted to play on the Packers. This is when he ended up going to the Arizona Cardinals. He wanted to play for the Packers, and we didn't even make an offer. We did not even make an offer, and stuff like that is probably why Aaron Rodgers hated the Packers front office. But hey, JJ, we're after the Parsons injury, we kind of are in need of an edge rusher. So are you still open to it? I mean, I saw Phil Rivers. I was gonna say lighting it up. I saw Phil Rivers lighting a few things. Not he didn't light them up, but yeah. Hey, JJ, give the Packers a call if you think you're still in playing shape. I think they would say yes this time because we are in need. But yeah, Matthew Judon probably more so. Probably more likely to be a replacement. Zadarius Smith posted the eyeball emoji on Twitter. The Packers fans in his comments were not being nice. But yeah, I don't think the season is over. That's why I'm wearing my DeAndre Campbell jersey. Never give up, which is the irony is Devondre Campbell low-key did give up when he got benched for Dre Greenlaw. Cheap shot at Devondre, but hey, I'm still repping your jersey, so respect Devondre. And someone respect Tua, please. Is Tua time over? Is the unfortunate question I have to ask. And for the remainder of the season, it appears that Tua time is over because Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Dolphins, today announced that he will be starting rookie quarterback Quinn Ewers instead of Tua. Ewers leapfrogged Zach Wilson, who had been Miami's backup, and now Zach Wilson will serve as Miami's backup. Tua Tagovailoa will be the emergency third quarterback. Yeah, really unfortunate for my boy Tua, who I've been a fan of. I've always hated Alabama, but I've been a fan of Tua since I saw him, come in the second half, having not played and, lighting up in the national championship. But yeah, Tua struggled mightily against the Steelers, except for the last, 6 minutes of the game where he threw two tugs to Darren Waller. Darren Waller, the rapper? Shout out him. But yeah, Tua, I think, leads the league in interceptions right now, and McDaniel wants to make a change. I thought McDaniel was going to be on the chopping block, but it seems like the Dolphins are sort of leaning towards keeping him. But yeah, I could still see Tua time's over for now, but I could still see Tua returning next year. Looks like maybe Mike McDaniel wants him traded, though. I don't know. I mean, it would help the Dolphins immensely financially. Because cutting Tua and moving on from him that way would end up costing the Dolphins $99 million in dead cap. So maybe we got another replacement for Aaron Rodgers once he retires. Tua to the Steelers. I think Mike Tomlin could fix him. Let's try to make that happen if we can. But is it even worth it? Is it even worth it is my next question, and my answer is depressing. Maybe not quite as depressed as Joe Burrow is currently. I'm sorry, Joe. Joe, we all love you, Joe. We want you to keep playing. Do not pull an Andrew Luck and retire. Get traded instead and keep playing because we all love watching you play. But is it even worth it is my question. And my unfortunate, depressing answer is no, we should just give up. And this is, again, MLB news. I phrased this question similarly when I got to plug in this. Oh my, that could have been tragic. Imagine the camera dies in the middle of recording. That would be, that would make me very sad, but not as sad as the Los Angeles Dodgers have made me and will continue to make me when they complete the three-peat this year. But, yeah, here's all the stuff that's not worth it. Infielder Ha-Seong Kim and the Atlanta Braves are in agreement on a 1-year, $20 million contract. That seems like a lot of money for Ha-Seong, but shout out Ha-Seong and shout out Adolis Garcia. He signs with the Phillies for a 1-year, $10 million contract. Another home run hitter and a good outfielder for the Phillies. And this one I know was definitely not worth it. What are we doing, Brewers? No offense to Angel Zerpa, but why did we trade a potential rookie of the year? He didn't win it, but he was a rookie of the year candidate in Isaac Collins and one of our relievers, Nick Mears. We trade for Angel Zerpa. I accidentally wrote Angela Zerpa. I wasn't trying to do you like that, Angel. But I'm sorry. This might be mean, but who is Angel Zerpa? Never heard of him. All I've been hearing is that he has a good ground ball rate. How about we get someone with a good strikeout rate instead, as I awkwardly see if there's any important notifications, which there are none. Yeah, I don't know. Isaac Collins, I'm going to be really sad to see him go, as will I be about Nick Mears. I feel like Nick Mears came in games in a lot of big spots where there's 2 outs, bases loaded, and we just needed someone to get us out of a jam. I liked Mears, but I don't know. According to the Milwaukee Brewers pitching lab, a guy with a good ground ball rate in Angel Zerpa should help us improve our bullpen to an extent. But yeah, sad to see Isaac Collins go. Isaac, we will never forget your walk-off home run against the Mets. Just the feeling of pure joy. You just got your hand raised, and me and my dad are just my dad's laughing, and I'm just sitting there in awe because that was one of the coolest moments I've ever seen as a Brewers fan. But yeah, let me move on from the Brewers and talk a little bit about the Mets, because the Mets, okay, another one. This is the one signing I think was worth it. Infielder Jorge Polanco signs a 2-year, $40 million contract with the Mets. I think he's closer to that $20 million a year number than Ha-Seong Kim should have been. But yeah, Jorge is expected to play first base and DH on the Mets, and I love the signing for the Mets. I do think it is worth it because he is clutch. Jorge made so many timely hits in this most recent postseason in the MLB. So I love that move. And I do love the Royals move as well. They sign Michael Garcia, sort of a super utility man, can also play multiple positions. He agreed to a 5-year, $57.5 million deal. I think that is a bargain for one of the best defenders and contact hitters in the league. But again, it's probably all for naught. Again, let's go on strike. Start the MLB lockout now. I hate you, Los Angeles. No offense. Actually, yes, offense. Yes, offense, Los Angeles. But moving on, let's talk a little bit of college football with my next question. Who will win it all? Or who did win it all? The Knicks. Yeah, I'm not talking about college football. I'm talking about the NBA Cup, the passion, the pageantry, the NBA Cup, to quote my man Rob Perez, or Wob Perez, however you want to say it. His New York Knicks ended up winning the NBA Cup last night against the San Antonio Spurs. Very hyped. The most hyped people looked like Tyler Kolek and Jordan Clarkson and all the bench guys, because winners of the NBA Cup get $500,000, $500K for winning that. Those Kolek and Clarkson are guys who are making $2 and $3 million a year, I think, respectively. So $500,000 is huge. You know, obviously it's chump change to Jalen Brunson, but yeah, congrats to the New York Knicks on winning the NBA Cup. But that is, of course, not what anyone cares about. No one cares about the NBA Cup. Everyone cares about the CFP. I am a little bummed that there's NFL games during the CFP. Like, I'd like to watch them standalone, one-on-one, but I don't know, maybe hopefully my friend, can you double box a projector? I might be at my friend's house who has a projector. We'll see if we can get Packers and, I mean, JMU Oregon might not be much of a matchup, but let me get into that. I'm just going to make my picks for the college football playoff because it is this weekend. I'll still do a Thursday night pick at the end of the show, but kind of rapid fire. My picks are going to be OU over Bama. Give me the Oklahoma Sooners. Give me the Boomer Sooners. This is a hate watch pick. I hate Alabama. But yeah, I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'll take the -1.5 points while I'm at it. But yeah, it reminds me of, my sour grapes when I didn't want Bama to be in the tournament. Still don't want them to be in the college football playoff, not the tournament, but yeah, a Bama fan. Really the only Bama fan I know. Actually, I know a couple, but one of the Bama fans I know, Dom, shout out Dom, who has been on the show before. He texts me and says, in response to all your tweets, I was vigorously tweeting and, showing my anti-Bama, chip on my shoulder. But yeah, he texted me and said, in response to all your tweets, you're only mad because it's Bama and everybody hates Bama. My response to his response was, oh, precisely. I will spread anti-Alabama propaganda until my death. Until my death, I will spread anti-Alabama propaganda. But at the same time, I think I did make some good points. That is, Miami and Notre Dame are that close. Bama lost, therefore they should have dropped, just like BYU did. Whatever. I'm trying to get over that, but that's the pick. OU over Bama -1.5. Give me Texas A&M -3.5 over Miami. Like A&M a lot in that game. I like Ole Miss -17.5 over Tulane, unfortunately. I'm rooting for the upset, but I think Ole Miss is going to cover. They're going to be fired up after playing their first game with no Lane Kiffin. And then, of course, I like Oregon over JMU. Like I said last week, JMU's cooked because they're posting pictures with vapes. But I don't know why. I do like JMU to cover plus 21.5 points. But yeah, really rooting for Tulane and JMU. Want to see one of these Cinderellas win so we don't have to change it and permanently exclude G4 team or, group of 5 teams, whatever you call them now from the playoffs. But yeah, I'm low-key picking these games in an effort to force a reverse jinx. Although, do reverse jinxes work when you say it's a reverse jinx out loud? I don't know. I guess with that in mind, maybe I should have picked Bama, or maybe I did the right thing by not picking Bama because making the OU pick was a jinx. But overall, I tried to reverse jinx, but then by verbalizing the reverse jinx, I possibly reverse the reverse jinx, meaning the reverse jinx is jinxed, meaning a reverse jinx on Bama would have been jinxed. So actually, by jinxing the reverse jinx, I've jinxed the jinx. Therefore, Oklahoma should win the football game, and I think that math checks out. Let me know if that math checks out. But yeah, those are my picks, and I will stick with Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs winning the national championship. Even though I low-key would like to change the pick to Ohio State, I got to stick to my Gunners Stockton. I got to stick to my Guns or Stockton. But I'll say it again. No, I'm not going to say that again. That was the worst joke I've ever told on this show. But what is no joke is First Year Interruption. This week's First Year Interruption is going to be with my man Todd Bowles, head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who was looking fly, who was looking crispy in the creamsicle uniforms with his team. But his team wasn't looking so fly, especially at the very end where they sort of choked the game against the Falcons. And let's just say Todd Bowles was not happy with how his team performed. So let's hear a sort of tirade we got from Todd Bowles post Thursday Night Football loss. Here he is, head coach Todd Bowles.
What do you tell them in the locker room after a game like this?
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You gotta care enough where the hurts. You gotta care enough where the hurts. It gotta mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. And that's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
Wow, look in the fucking mirror, he said. And that F word will cost me $1 in my F-bomb jar. Shout out to the whoever I stole that from on YouTube for bleeping them out, because I don't know what I have had to pay for Todd Bowles F-bombs and put them in the F-bomb jar. Auntie Julie, if you're watching, let me know what charity I should donate this money to. I think I'm damn near at $100 now, so we're getting somewhere with that. But yeah, man, I have never heard that many swears come out of Todd Bowles' mouth. In fact, I'm not even sure if I've heard him swear ever. That's definitely the maddest I've ever seen him. And really, I don't blame him. His team blew a 28-14 fourth quarter lead. And yeah, the division may stink, the NFC South, but now Buccaneers-Panthers week 16 and Buccaneers-Panthers week 18 is going to be cinema after both teams got shucked. They got shucked, and that's not something I need the F-bomb jar for, because of course I'm talking about Tyler Shuck. How about Tyler Shuck? How about Shuck? It's the Shuck show. He's no shucking joke. He's for real. Tyler Shuck is he's entertaining to watch, and yeah, maybe if he had been there for week 1, he'd be in this NFC South race with them. But yeah, Panthers and Bucks both at 7-7, so both of those games are going to be very, very interesting and have a lot of NFC South implications. It will ultimately determine who wins the division. But let's keep the show rolling and get to everybody's favorite moment of the week, the Goosebump moments of the week. And today, we've got 10 of them, as always, the top 10. And at number 10, we have San Antonio's Dylan Harper hitting the layup for the win to beat the Pelicans.
And they get it in. Now Harper, nobody protected the rim. Derek's got to stay there, and he'll get the runner. Timeout Pels.
That young man can play, man.
Number 9, Zane Gonzalez makes the 43-yard field goal as the Falcons come back to upset the Bucks.
Inside the left upright. And there's a little celebrating going on in Charlotte, North Carolina right now.
Number 8, Charlie Smith hits the 47-yarder for the win as the Saints upset the Panthers.
It's on the way. It is good. There is a marker down. For now, the conquering hero of Ireland has given New Orleans the lead.
Number 7, Jason Myers hits the game-winning 56-yard field goal to spoil Phillip Rivers' return.
Myers delivers.
Number 6, South Carolina State wins the HBCU National Championship in the Cricket Celebration Bowl in quadruple overtime.
Right here, Cam Peters looking, and that's it! South Carolina State held on to win it! They are the HBCU National Champions for 2025!
Number 5, Bruce Thornton hits the tough game-winning bucket in double OT for OSU. Number 4, JT Miller skates it off in overtime for the Rangers.
Front, Panarin for Trocheck. Back out to Zibanejad. Now Miller fires and scores! He scores! JT Miller wins the game in overtime.
Number 3, John Klinberg completes the Sharks' 4-goal comeback in overtime.
Crosby back for Celebrini to Klinberg scores! An unbelievable comeback by the San Jose Sharks.
Number 2, Jamarquez Lawrence hits the clutch 3 to win it for Nebraska with only .2 left.
Lawrence for the win. Got it!
Number 1 moment of the week, Derwin James picks off Minshew to officially end the Chiefs dynasty.
And deep and intercepted. It's picked off. Derwin James gets it.
Who doesn't love to see the end of the dynasty, but obviously the fans of the dynasty itself. But yeah, maybe a little underwhelming top 10 this week. We had 3 field goals in there. Jason Myers hitting the 56-yarder. Screw you, Jason Myers, not only because you ruined Phillip Rivers' return. He was 1 point away from winning it. But he had 24 fantasy points, and guess who was playing against I'm 9-5. I'm playing a 7-7 team hosted by Gus, aka Russell Hines, who's been on the show. Russ wins because his kicker scores 24 fantasy points. I am livid. I will never get over that. And yeah, one thing I kind of notice is they don't call it a walk off in hockey anymore. It's a skate off. He skates it off for the win. But yeah, shout out Derwin James for ending part 1 of the Chiefs dynasty. But let's finish out the show here with my TNF pick. This week it is Rams at Seahawks, and I really don't know what the line is. I don't know what the point spread is. I've seen everything between Rams -1.5 to Seahawks -1.5. I've seen both teams favored. Feels like a pick 'em here, but we do have some information about the Rams that would lead me to believe maybe the Seahawks will end up being favorites here. I wasn't quite sure why the Seahawks would be favorites in this one. I was like, I guess it's because of the 12th man. You know, they're tough to beat at home. But I then remembered Devontae Adams is doubtful for this game. That definitely factors into it. And we have a new factor. I don't know how Vegas is going to put this into the spread, take this into account, but the Rams team flight that was supposed to be leaving an hour ago is expected to be significantly delayed due to an equipment issue with the plane, per Adam Schefter. The team currently is working on alternative travel arrangements to prevent any further delays going to Seattle. Are they bound to take a bus? Are they bound to take a 10-hour bus ride? I don't know. Maybe they'll, find a different plane, take a helicopter to a different airport. Who knows? But the game is almost 24 hours away, a little more than 24 hours away. So, yeah, we do need the Rams to lock in here and get to Seattle, especially because my pick is going to be Rams money line. I was going to say Rams money line because I don't really know where the spread is going to end up with the plane news and the Devontae news. I do think maybe Seattle ends up being underdogs, but the Rams are a better team, so I could easily see them being favored. But I will say Rams money line because for some reason Vegas is always eerily right there, meaning taking that -1.5 could screw you if the Rams kick a field goal and win by 1. But again, I don't know if they're going to be favorites. So if the Rams are underdogs, I would take +1.5. I'll take +2.5, +3.5. I know Devontae's really not going to play in this game, but I don't care. I like the Rams plus the points or Rams money line if they're favorites in this one, as the odds would only marginally change between a money line or a spread bet there. But yeah, it's a heavyweight matchup we got here. We got the MVP against Sammy D. I'm still not quite sure if Sam Darnold has that dog in him yet, so I'm gonna go with the safe bet and the vet, Matthew Stafford. And I know I talked on this show a few weeks ago about how weird the phrase turning into a pumpkin is, which is a phrase frequently thrown at Sam, I'm seeing ghosts out there, Darnold. But my lovely Aunt Mary pointed out to me that the odd phrase of turning into a pumpkin comes from the Disney classic Cinderella, which obviously makes the phrase make a lot more sense now, leading to my final clown question of the day. Will Sam Darnold turn into a pumpkin, or will Cinderella find her missing glass slipper before midnight?